consider before even learning this move is definitely stretching. You need to stretch, otherwise you could tear a muscle and you're going to be in real pain and you're probably going to be out, and it will also discourage you from even wanting to learn the move. Okay, so you're going to be using your wrists and your legs predominantly in this move, so it's best to train them. Okay, here we go. So you're just going to have your palm straight out and you can have your backhand facing towards you. You're just going to pull back onto your fingers with your free hand and hold this for about 10 seconds. Do it on each hand. And then the next one, just literally flip it upside down, so your palm's still facing out, and you're going to really feel it across the bottom here. Okay, you do that to the other hand, another about 10 seconds. And then put them both into a ball, so crap your hands together like that, and then just move them around in a circle, kind of all around and all that, little wave, just sort of really gets your wrist going all mobile and all that kind of stuff. Next part is definitely your groin and your legs, because they are an important part, because if you pull them, that is the muscle you are most likely to pull when doing this move. So, I mean, you don't even have to be super flexible, because I can't exactly do the splits properly or anything, but just try and get down as far as you can and hold it for as long as you can. As I said, I can't even really get that far, I can probably just get about halfway, but then just hold it, I'd say for about 20 seconds. You're going to be in pain, but it's definitely worth it. Okay, so after that one, you're going to do the butterfly stretch. Okay, now just get your elbows and make sure that they're going down onto your knees, and then you'll really feel it across your groin for this one. Hold that again for about 20 seconds. And then after that, you're ready to start learning windmills. Okay, now before someone might be watching this and thinking, why is he doing it in a different hand to me? Am I doing it wrong? No, you're not doing it wrong. I'm just teaching this tutorial in an anti-clockwise position. Okay, what I mean by that is I'm going to be using my left hand, whereas if you was going clockwise, you'd be using your right hand, and I'm going to be using my left hand. It doesn't matter if you do go clockwise, just try and change everything the opposite direction, because basically I do think this will be a beneficial tutorial to you also, because I kind of try to go through all different tutorials and get important aspects that I think really matters and then put them all together so that it kind of makes like a kind of a super tutorial. But you know, hopefully it does work out that well. So first part I'm going to teach, there's going to be 4 steps in this move, and the first step is going to be the spin and collapse. Now a lot of people just teach a collapse in a stationary position, and a collapse is just this. But if you teach it in a stationary position, that's cool and everything, but you don't actually do that in a windmill. You will add a spin to it, because if you didn't use a spin in your windmill and just collapsed in a stationary position and kicked, it would look like this. Like that. You're not going anywhere because you haven't added that spin into it. They never taught you to do it, and you kind of just subconsciously pick it up, but then you could have saved yourself like a couple of days of doing that, or it might even discourage you. You think, oh, I can't do it, but that's why I'm going to add this bit in now to help you straight away, so when you're learning it, you can just build up. Okay, what I mean by just a 90-degree spin, it's just basic. You use your free hand, so you'll be in your stationary hand-like position, you use your free hand and you pull yourself across till your hand is facing forward, your stabbed hand. This is the point when you're going to collapse. So you're going to collapse just normally there, but you've added that 90-degree spin, so you've done a quarter of a circle. So I'll just show you again, and collapse. That's all it is. It looks pointless, and it looks like it shouldn't even be in there, but honestly, it will help you a lot for doing that. So that's the first part, the spin and collapse. Now you're ready to start learning the second part. Okay, so assuming that you've already got the first step down and dusted and conquered, we're going to go on to the second step now, and that is called the lift of the leg and drop onto the shoulder. Now, you're going to incorporate this with step 1, because with all the steps, you're just going to incorporate everything together and just keep building up. They're not actually like separate drills or anything. So this is going to be the second step now. Okay, so from your first part, where you're going to do your spin and your collapse, when you're about to do your spin, you want to use your leg that you're going to be kicking with. So basically, if you're going anti-clockwise, which is the way I'm teaching this tutorial, you're going to kick your left leg, and that means bend it to begin with, so to give you that extra sort of power, because the cleanliness of the move will come later, like with straight legs and kind of stuff. But don't worry too much about that now. Basically, what you're going to be doing, so you're going to have your left hand stabbed in the abdominal area, and you're going to bend your left leg here. but not yet. You're just going to, because you're going to have them both bent at the moment, but this is where it's going to bend and kick underneath your right leg. Okay, so what I mean by this, you're going to spin, and as you're about to collapse, what you're going to do is you're going to lift your leg here, and this is the part where you also drop onto your shoulder, because when you collapse, this is how you drop onto the shoulder here. That is what a collapse is being taught for. So, you're going to do your spin, lift the leg and collapse. Now you haven't actually kicked yet because you're not actually onto your back. The kick will take you onto the back. Okay, so this is what I'm going to just teach that last bit again, and I'm going to go onto the kick. Okay, so you've got your spin and you collapse onto your shoulder. Okay? Right, now I'm going to actually add the kick. Now I'm going to show you once and I can kind of break it down. So this is what I mean. So you're going to go spin and kick. And this is what actually brings you onto the back from your shoulder. Okay. So, again, spin, and as you're about to collapse on your shoulder, lift the left leg up, and you're going to kick this right leg up in the air. Okay? And this is how you're then going to drop onto your left shoulder. So you're going to use your free hand to sort of push you onto that as well. So, kick with the left leg, and kick the right leg into the air, and that's what's going to take you onto your back. Don't pull your legs down, because a lot of people, they get carried away and think too much about the arms and the collapse, and they let their legs drop and they go like that. Don't. You need to kick this leg through, underneath and through the leg to take you onto your back. So you'll be here, and you'll actually need to be here. Otherwise you're just going to sort of drag along the floor and you're not going to get any speed or momentum whatsoever. Okay, so I'm going to go through it again. Hang glide position, free hand, spin, kick up, left leg up, bend it, and you drop onto your shoulder and onto your back. Okay, now you're ready to start learning step 3. Okay, step 3 is kind of more so a tip than a step, because you can actually do it without this, but this will help you with your cleanliness of your mill, the height of your mills, and it'll also really play a massive part and a big help in when you're learning different types of windmills like barrel, munch, because it's called the bounce, and this is a big part of when you're actually on the windmill, because the bounce is going to really help. When you're on your back, so you've just spun around and you're onto your back. Okay, now a lot of people will instantly, subconsciously try and turn straight away on to getting onto another windmill. But it is easier than that if you add a bounce to it, because then you've got more height to take your body through with you. Now, this height that I'm going to show you here, when you're actually doing a windmill, you're going to be about here. But what you're going to aim to do is, this is a bit over-exaggerated, but it's going to really help and you'll sort of see what I mean. You want to kick your legs as far back towards like the floor as you can. You want to almost like be like here. I mean, I know that's exaggerated, but if you can do that, you'll be able to have more space to be able to turn. Whereas if you're like down here, you're going to scrape the floor. Now, I'm going to show you onto the back, and I'm going to show you a bounce, which comes after. And then I'll end up actually showing you how to get into another into a proper windmill from that. Okay, so you're going to use your step 1 and step 2 together to get onto your back, and then I'm going to show you the bounce. Okay, so you're going to have your spin, lift the leg, collapse, bounce. Okay, now that looked a bit silly at first, but when you bounce, that is when you're going to come onto your other shoulder to start finishing the windmill. Now, when you bounce, also kick the legs back, so then it gives you that extra height. So what I mean by that is, so you go onto your back, and I'll show it again. Here, here, bounce. Now, as I said, that is over-exaggerated because like nobody does windmills like that. What I mean is just try it, and when you sweep your legs under through, kick them back and then bounce. It's more so a drill to kind of practice. This one is, it's harder when your legs are out straight, but go onto your back like this and keep your legs in, so get your knees into your chest and just practice bouncing like that. And that also is kind of like a Windmill tip, but that's going to play a big part in getting you back onto your shoulder, onto your other shoulder, and actually getting you into multiple windmills also, because otherwise it can really hurt when you're actually trying to do a proper windmill and you just kind of face plant the floor as you go around. So I'm going to show you again, and it's going to be the bounce. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, spin, bounce. Okay, just kind of let yourself flow into a backspin. Obviously this is carpet and not obviously the best material for me to be kind of spinning on, but the dining room unfortunately is taken up at the moment. So I'm going to spin, and just honestly, on carpet you can at least still get like 1 or 2 spins max. So just try in that time to just find your time to just do that little bounce, and it will be that will help you with the next step. So I'm just going to show it one more time. And you bounce again. So just again, the drill, bring them in. 1, 2, 3, just keep bouncing like that, and eventually you'll just be able to bounce. It's only a tiny bounce, you don't have to literally kick your legs up like flipping 500 miles an hour and like bounce about that high off the floor. Okay, just it's a tiny bounce, it's just that little tiny bounce that will help you get over that much easier. Okay, now this is the final part of actually learning your first windmill. This is step 4 of 4, and this is going to be called the turn and catch. Now incorporating everything I've taught you from step 1, step 2 and step 3 all together, this is actually how you're going to get your first windmill. It doesn't really need to look super clean or anything, this is honestly just getting onto that first one and then being able to work on it from there. Okay, now what I mean by the turn and catch is when you're actually on your back here, and you've added your bounce. As you've added your bounce, this is the point when you're actually going to go for it. Because the bounce is going to be the part kind of like where you have your lever. And this is where you're going to roll onto your right hand side. And you're going to use, you're going to also use your leg and your arm. I'm going to teach the arm bit first so you can break it down. Okay, now the arm, your shoulder, you're going to have to push as hard as you can. So push the right hand to the floor, literally push against it. And plant this is where you're going to be on your back here and have your hands to the sides like this. So then this is the best position to have them in. Okay, so then you plant it here. This then when your stabbed hand is going to be able to come back into the stabbing position and you're going to be able to push yourself up onto here. Now incorporating that with the leg, you'll actually be able to safely kind of come over and it'll be all smooth and everything. Okay, so I'm going to show you onto the back. 1, 2, 3, here. So you're going to bounce and then you're going to push over like that, push up and here. But this is the point when also you're going to use the leg at the same time. So while you're on the back, while using the arm, so when you come over, you're going to kick the right leg underneath while pushing up against that and then turn your whole body. So you push, kick the right leg underneath, keep the legs in the air because a lot of people do that. You don't want to do that, you want to keep them in the air and try and keep that V formation. So you kick them underneath and catch yourself like this. And you just got to catch yourself back in the hang glide position and that's how you actually conquer that first windmill. Okay, now I'm going to show you, it's going to look like a really rough windmill, but I'm actually going to show you every step broken down and incorporated into this actual windmill. So that's why it's going to look really messy, it's all going to be slow motion. Okay, I'm going to show you it all together now. Okay, so you've got your step 1, here, got your spin, got your collapse, got your leg, you got your bounce, and you got your turn and your catch. Okay, so did you just see the bounce, how that actually really helped for me to get the height to push up and then turn? That is your kind of warning to sides. So soon as you spin a little bit, like half a back spin, then you boot up, and as you kick up, that's when you go, and you kick the leg underneath, and then you catch yourself in a hang glide position. Keep the free hand out and try and stab it straight down. But make sure that your hands are here when you're on your back, so you can able to, as you're turning, this is when your stabbing hand's going to go back into abdominal position and it's going to push you back up to that hang glide position again. Otherwise, you'll end up kind of just turning over and you're just going to go boom, and land flat on your face and probably angle your face up or something. Okay, so I'm going to show you that one more time. So you're going to get onto your back, here, add the bounce in as you've added the bounce. I'm not sure if there's anyone. As you've added the bounce, turn round, over, right leg, make sure it stays in the air. Obviously when I'm showing this in a slow mo it's obviously not going to work, but make sure it stays in the air for the momentum. Push up with your right hand here and catch. Your legs can drop on the floor at the end, it doesn't matter because when you start learning multiple windmills you'll learn actually how to keep them up, which I'm going to show you in the next step. Okay, so one more time I'm going to show you one full windmill now with everything incorporated into it. Okay, that's in a fast motion. Try and use all of these steps together and this is how you're going to get your first windmill. So use it all, here, bounce and catch up. And that's how you've actually conquered your first windmill. Now we're going to go on to step 5, which is actually going to be multiple windmills and standing windmills and everything else.